Week 8. We're in it. How are we doing?
Oh, it's it's been a very, 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 very great week.
Oh,
Very,
great.
very great 8 weeks, actually.
I was
Um,
expecting something like that, but I
no,
want to hear more.
oh, no, yeah, definitely. So it was Landon's birthday this past weekend. Um, you know what? Like, it's all about prepping. That's legitimately what it's all about. It's about prepping and preparing and knowing what's coming up, knowing what you will have available or what you can get, and knowing what you need to provide. Because Landon's birthday, I already pretty much knew that it was just going to be like pizza and chips and stuff. So I had told Vito, I was like, can you just grab me a bag of salad?
Mhm.
Just like one like salad kit mix. And I told him, preferably about like 400 to 500 calories. I was like, preferably 400 to 500, sorry, 400 to 500 calories. Because, that's what I'll eat. And then, and I had told him to get me like a separate one. So it's
Mhm.
like, you could get salad for other people, but like get me one for myself. And then I packed my yogurt, I packed my smoothie, I packed my juice, I packed my fruit. So it was like, okay, let me think. We're gonna be there like all day Saturday. So I'm gonna eat breakfast at home, but then, have my fruit or whatever for lunch and then the salad for dinner. And then Sunday, they were gonna have breakfast at Lawrence. So I was like, okay, I'll pack my yogurt for that.
Mhm.
So it was like I already had my meals planned for me and I put them into my calorie counter ahead of time. So it was like I had no issues. I did have one slice of pizza.
Mm.
And even when I was eating the pizza, I was like, oh, like this ain't as tasty as it used to be.
Yeah, I'm running into that as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
There was one day in particular last week because I've been sticking with a 1700 calorie restriction.
Mhm.
And there was one day where I budgeted basically my entire calories for the day was going to be pizza from Whole
Uh-huh.
Foods. And normally, like, I like Whole Foods pizza, but like
Yeah.
that particular day, it was like undercooked. The dough was like kind of like not really, crispy or anything like that. It just sucked. So anyway,
Yeah.
I ended up eating like 1600 calories worth of pizza, and it was just like, okay, well, I could have spent that on, chicken breast, rice, and something else,
Yeah.
So yeah.
No, yeah. Yeah, that's true. Cause it's like you're like, okay, well, this one slice has how many calories? And you're like, okay, if I'm eating a whole pie, it's like, yeah, I'm probably satisfied for the moment, if it
Hmm.
tasted okay. But it's also like, I could have eaten more nutritious things or, I could have eaten more throughout the day because that's
Yeah.
that's what my mindset was. Like, okay, like, I don't want to just eat one time during the day because all I'm eating is pizza and fries
Hmm.
and chicken
Hmm.
tenders,
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
Um, and then I was up in NorCal for work Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. So I was staying with my brother, and he's like very, very supportive. He's actually trying to cut weight too. So Monday, I had told him Monday and Wednesday I can work out because
Hmm.
Tuesday I was going to be gone all day for trainings. And yeah, like he was totally like when I got to his place, he's like, oh, what time do you want to work out? And, we set that up. And then this morning or yesterday, he had asked me, he's like, do you want to do my hit leg workout with me? And yeah, we woke up early in the morning before his meetings and we worked out, and then we did go grab food, but him and his wife were like very supportive of, okay, like the places that we're picking, has to have healthy options. And we did get Thai food one day, but it was like family style, which I loved because then I didn't feel like I had to eat like a whole plate or like, oh my gosh, I'm wasting food.
Right.
And it was like, okay, let me just get a little bit of portions. And then I like put it into my calorie counter to make sure like it's within my caloric budget. But even then, like I still planned to be with him. I, you know, had my apples with peanut butter. I had my keto bread. I had my peach. Like I did pack certain things because I was like, okay, just in case, like, you know, if he wants to make breakfast or something, it's like, all right, well, you know, I can't expend all of these calories on just breakfast. And what I did was, you know, I had my lower calorie options to snack on, and then we just had one meal. So it was like one day it was Thai food. This other day was moon bowls, which is, have you heard of moon bowls?
No, it sounds interesting.
It's Korean food, but it's like a healthier option. So like my chicken bowl was made with cauliflower rice. Like there was like healthy options to it. So it was like, okay, well that's what I'm picking because I don't want to have all this rice and stuff. And then we had gone out for Greek food, which I got like the salad, one of their salads. So it was like, okay, I know I'm going to be spending time with them. I know that maybe the meal we go out to eat is going to be higher in calories. So it's like, okay, let me pack my snacks that I can kind of munch on throughout the day and save those calories.
That's amazing. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the thing that I probably said it already, but the thing that I observe about you is that you are like the prime example of consciously eating. You know, like you are very conscious of what you're putting in your mouth, and you are adapting to the circumstances that you find yourself in order for you to be social, have a good time, like exist in the moment and not have to stress about like, oh, I'm doing the wrong thing. I should be guilty about the thing that I'm doing. Instead, you're thinking ahead. If you know that you have a party coming up or an event or you're spending time with your family, you plan ahead, understand that like, okay, the most amount of calories that I'll be consuming is going to be around 7 o'clock p.m. So in preparation for that 7 o'clock p.m. dinner with my brother and his wife, let me have 400 calories leading up to that moment.
Exactly.
And then yeah, so I continue to commend you for that. I'm asking myself the question, and I'll just ask it out loud, and if you have an answer, then feel free to give it. Why is it so easy for you?
I think because I've already found like snacks and foods and easy to grab and easy to make things where it doesn't feel to me like, oh my gosh, I really have to think about it. I really have to, you know, go out of my way to grab something or to prep something or to, you know, come up with something. Because it's like my go-tos for like when I'm traveling to like pack my snack bag is the Skinny Pop white cheddar popcorn.
Oh, I had that a couple days ago.
Yeah, I just
100
had
calories.
one right now.
Yeah.
Well, that's the regular one. The white cheddar is 150.
Okay.
I was like, I'll sacrifice an extra 50 calories to have the white cheddar.
I'm always playing with like the double digit calories. You know, like, oh, this is 50 calories, this is 40, and then like weighing which one I want more. That's kind of fun. Okay, so you got your skinny popcorn.
Yeah. And then I have my apple with my peanut butter. And then my keto bread.
Keto bread.
Sometimes, yeah, keto bread because it's 90 calories for 2 slices.
Okay. Is it like dry? I imagine that it's dry.
I mean, like you can definitely tell that there's a difference from regular bread and that bread. It's a little bit on the drier side. It was funny because my brother had asked me about it because I took the keto bread up there, and I was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna have my keto bread. He was like, what is it made out of? And I looked at the ingredients, and it's like fortified wheat or something. I don't know. But I told them it is lighter than regular bread, and it toasts different. Like I don't like the way it toasts.
Yeah,
but it is kind of like dry and airy more, I think.
Okay. Real a quick one that I like to eat, you might be into rice cakes. Rice cakes are really tasty.
Oh, mhm. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. I used to get rice cakes all the
Okay.
time.
Got it. Cool. Cool.
Um, so yeah, so it's that, and then what else do I grab? Or like whatever fruit I have. Oh, and then like salami. And then if I want cheese, I just weigh out my cheese so that it's the
Okay.
1 ounce. But I feel like with the cheese, because the 1 ounce is so small and it's so much, so many calories
Hmm.
that I don't, that's not like usually my go-to.
Right.
But but yeah, sometimes I'll have it just depending. So I think that's what's making it the easiest is just that, I do have my go-tos like grab and go.
Hmm.
So it's like lower calorie snacks and then like one meat.
I like that.
That's what I've been doing with like my travel days and stuff.
Yeah, that sounds like a really great strategy. Especially when, yeah, you're planning around the anticipated meal.
Mhm.
So that's really smart. Also, I like that you are, again, it goes back to conscious eating. And like that's one theme that I definitely want to play around with more as I continue to get further into my program and things of that nature is the mentality of being a conscious eater. Because just from my own experiences, and we have had parallel experiences because we both have our own separate fitness goals and we have ideas in mind as to how we would like to look and the amount of weight that we would like to lose and yada yada yada. And you know, just going through the process and myself making my own conscious decisions on a daily basis, not only does it become easier because you start working within the calorie restriction that you placed upon yourself. What I like about you, and this is something that we mentioned last week, is how you give yourself a window of, let's say, I think it was 900 to 1200 calories. Like that's the window that you work within, and you're always aiming to come closer to 900. But if you get to 1200, it's not the end of the world because that's the window that you're operating within. I just think that's so cool, you know. Um, yeah, like everything you do, just like your mentality when you apply it to that, to nutrition, how you're able to commit to it is phenomenal. It really is.
Um, One more thing that's my little motivation now is I went to go try on my dress for the wedding last Friday and it barely fit, but it barely didn't fit.
Hmm.
And it was because the stylist had told me to go down from what I had tried on. She said to go down a dress size because part of the dress was like at its max of like how much you could like put it in. And so I had told her like, yeah, I'm doing my like diet and exercise program, and I'm losing weight. So she was like, okay, go down a dress size. So that was a month ago. I
Hmm.
got it last week and yeah, it was like it barely fit, but it barely didn't fit. Like she was like struggling to like
Mm.
put it on. So I'm like, oh my gosh, I have to be on like a super, super, super grind.
Yeah,
And I can't even like have these little tiny like, cheat meals
right.
because it's like I need to make sure that the dress fits.
Well,
So
if anyone can do it, I know it's you. And the cool thing, and I know that you already understand this, is that cheat meals look different when you apply it to your calorie restriction. Like there's such a thing, let's say like a diet break, where you are on a weight loss journey and let's say week one you're on a calorie deficit, week two you're on a calorie deficit, and then on week three you go on, like, let's say, a calorie maintenance or a slight surplus in order to kind of balance out. There is evidence to support that if you do go on a diet break on like week three or week four of a diet, then your metabolism adapts and you're able to lose more weight when you go back to a deficit. However, the method that I like and the one that you seem to easily adhere to is incorporating meals out with your family, things of that nature, social events into your calorie deficit. And I think that's a skill in and of itself, because I find that most people don't really have the ability to strike that balance. In fact, it was something that I wasn't able to do until very recently. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
No, yeah, definitely. And I feel like now I have a little bit more of like Vito's support, because he's been on a pretty good grind. But when I had told him like, oh yeah, about the dress, I was like, that means that I definitely, thank you, that I definitely have to be on a super, super grind,
Mm-hmm,
which I
mm-hmm.
feel like, he's been more supportive, because like I said, he like bought me my bag of salad and stuff like that. But
Yeah.
but I totally agree with you, because there's times where it's like during this 8 weeks where I'm like, you know what, like I've been killing it, like this whole entire week or the 2 weeks where I've killed my exercise routine,
Right.
where it's like, you know what, like maybe I'll just have like that little piece of chocolate or something like
Mm-hmm,
that,
mm-hmm.
because you definitely need to balance that, especially like mentally,
Yeah.
because 3 months, because that's the wedding in 3 months, it's like 3 months, like how much can you really sustain, like being super super hardcore and super super strict.
Right.
um but I also feel like I also try to make sure like when I have that one meal, it's like a little bit more on like the tastier side, like something that I
Mm-hmm.
do really want to have, as opposed to just
Right.
like vegetable or carrots or vegetables or whatever.
Right. Yeah. Well, one thing I'll say, because we're kind of looking at a 3 month period. I mean, we've been doing week to week, and what you're talking about is basically gearing up for a 3 month hardcore focused mindset when it comes to this whole thing. Um, so like if there's any sort of advice that I would give you,
Mm-hmm.
consistency beats perfection.
That's true.
Consistency beats perfection. And I know you and I know what you're capable of. And as long as you keep that mindset that like we're just looking for you, I'm gonna say 80%. 80% of the time you're killing it for the next 3 months.
Mm-hmm.
And you're going to get the results that you need. Because the cool thing about you is on a day where you don't kill it, it's not even that bad. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, you
Yeah.
had a couple drinks and cheesecake. Okay, all right. Well, you enjoyed yourself, and then you're gonna get right back on it. As opposed to someone else, they could have a couple drinks, a cheesecake, and then keep it going the next day, and then follow into now it becomes like a weekend binge. And guess what? You've undone all of the progress that you made for the past week or even 2 weeks sometimes. So like that's the thing that
Yeah.
you don't want to happen. And that happens by not being a conscious eater.
And you know what I feel kind of has helped me with that is, early on we were discussing, some people view like a cheat meal as like a reward for,
Mm-hmm.
all the hard work that they've done,
Right.
and they go all out, and it's like, oh, I deserve this. It's like, but you've helped me change my mindset of, no, the reward is that I'm still killing it,
Right.
that
Yeah.
yes, I might be able to have, indulge in a little bit of this or that. But like we were discussing, it's like, I really don't go like all out or, go too crazy with it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I feel like, because in my head, I set like a boundary. I'm like, okay, this cheesecake, I'm just going to eat half of it. And it's like, all right, it's half. Oh, there was my me, my brother, and my sister-in-law had gone out to grab dessert. What was it, yesterday? We went to go grab dessert yesterday, and we went to like this little Mexican like ice cream shop, and it was I had gotten fresas con crema, which is strawberries with cream.
Okay.
And I was like, oh yeah, like that's what I'm craving right now. I literally last night like put it into my calorie count and was like 310 calories for 8 ounces. Heck no, I just ate one little strawberry, and then I was like, Brian, Do you want the rest? I was
I
like,
love that.
I was like, you can have it tomorrow because he had his own thing. But I was just
Yeah, but
I
then
was like
yeah,
seeing the calories, I was just like, oh, like
I know.
I don't want this. I was like, let me
Yeah.
just taste it. And it was good.
Yeah,
Let me just taste it. And yeah, I didn't eat it yesterday. I was just like, just at that one, and I was like, all right, I'm good.
that's really incredible.
And it's so funny because, my brother had gotten his whatever he had gotten. And this morning he woke up and he was like, yo, like I don't even feel good because he had gotten this thing with mango and chamoy. I don't know if you know what chamoy is.
Yeah.
It's like a sweet, yeah, yeah. And he was like, I can, because when we were working out, because I can just feel like that burning of the chamoy sitting
Mm,
in my stomach. He's like, I shouldn't have eaten that. I was like, yeah, that's why I was like, I didn't want to eat healthy. I mean, not healthy. I didn't want to eat heavy and then
hmm.
feel like crap because I knew we were working out in the morning.
That is the one thing I am really fond of when it comes to clean eating and maintaining a calorie deficit is like you never feel bloated. You know, you get to wake
Yeah.
up each morning with like a digested stomach, you know, clean. You feel like you don't feel dirty. Whereas like normally if you're just eating junk food all day and you go to sleep with like a full stomach and you're stuffed, the next day you still feel it. You know, you're still
Mm-hmm.
walking around with the things that you ate yesterday until you get rid of it. So
Yeah,
that is like a real cool perk.
exactly.
Hmm.
Um, Dang, I feel like there was one more thing I was gonna bring up, but I completely forgot.
Mm,
But yeah, I mean, everything's been really good. Everything's been, great.
hmm.
Like I definitely feel very, very, very confident in like the choices that I'm making and just like the path that I'm going down.
Well, I would say that you seem to have a higher skill of practicing discipline when it comes to this than maybe the ordinary person. Um, what I find interesting about you is that I think it goes beyond just really being motivated to achieving your goal, but more so, I think it's more of a personality trait that you really just have the ability to stick to what you say you're going to do. You know, like when you obtain the information, like all right, A plus B equals C, and I want C, then you just do that. You just do the thing that nets you the result that you want. And I don't know. I guess I'm just thinking out loud. Like if I can just replicate your your ability to do that, I feel like I would really have something. You know?
I feel like it's all about convenience. Like that's what I find
Hmm.
for myself. It's all about convenience. Like finding something that's easy, finding something that's convenient, finding something that I don't have to put a lot of effort into because, with my schedule and my life, it's like I don't have time to make uh, a whole week's meal prep,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And it's like just finding, what you like and what you can eat and, obviously being conscious about, the calories and learning, okay, well, instead of using a creamy dressing, let's go to something that's like more of like a vinaigrette or let's
Mm-hmm.
just go with balsamic vinegar. Like
Mm-hmm.
finding things that you like and you enjoy to eat and that you can continuously eat. I'm not saying like on an everyday or every meal type of basis, but that you're going to be able to enjoy so it doesn't feel like, oh my gosh, like I'm eating this salad, this dry
Mm-hmm.
salad because I can't put dressing on it,
Right.
type of
I
thing.
yeah,
Because
I
that's how I
really yeah, no, I really like that mentality, and I would say it's something that I'm practicing as well. I was just talking about yesterday, how like everything I eat throughout the day, it's like I'm really excited about putting in my mouth, like all the
feel.
things. One thing that I like to do sometimes when I have the time is when it gets to because I like to cut myself off after 8 o'clock. I don't like to eat any additional food after 8 because it gives me a chance to digest. And it also puts me in the mindset of, okay, you have eaten your 1,700 calories for the day, you're done, and now you can just think about something else. And sometimes that thing that I'm thinking about is the next day, you know? So I'll sit down at like 9 o'clock on an evening and plan out my meal for the next day. And it allows me to get excited about the 1,700 calories that I'm going to be consuming tomorrow, you know? Um,
Yeah.
but I also like what you said about convenience. So it's basically, it's just like merging the two. If I had to rephrase it, it's a matter of how easy it is for you to adhere to this specific diet, and how much do you enjoy this diet that you're adhering to, and making it feel
Yeah.
like it's not a drag, because at the end of the day, it is an adjustment. In order to lose weight, you have to adjust to eating less and, making different commitments like going to the gym and stuff like that. But the process of
Yeah.
making it simpler and more convenient is really the thing that a person really needs to do in order to create some level of consistency.
Yeah, that's the truth. That honestly is the truth. And sorry, I feel that sorry, I'm just trying to
You're
get on
good.
this. Uh um I feel that's what's the key is, not seeing this as like something miserable. Because
Mm,
I honestly, like, when I ask to eat a salad or when I go and grab a salad, I'm not thinking like, oh man, like a salad again. I try to see like salads that I like, or options that I like, or I'll be able to enjoy it. Or like, if I do have like a cheat meal, or not a cheat meal, like if I did um have a crappy meal. Why didn't a little more? There you go. Sorry.
no, life of a traveler. I get it.
Thank you. Um, like if I did have a crappy meal or a crappy day, or if I felt like crap from whatever I ate, it's like I try to make that next meal at least something that's good, but something that I'll enjoy, so that it doesn't feel like a punishment. Like, oh my
Right.
gosh, I had a crappy meal, so now my next day has to be crappy, because I, not crappy in the sense of unhealthy, but more so crappy in a sense of now it has to be bland and no flavor and, nothing like that.
Yeah. Yeah. Huh. Man, I couldn't agree more. I really couldn't.
Um, Oh, that's what I was gonna say. So I was thinking about your 8-week program.
Hmm.
And so yeah, so I like I said from the jump, I feel like an 8-week program is a good starting point.
Hmm.
Um, but I also feel like you should offer like maintenance for like those people who have gone through the 8-week program, and maybe like doing maintenance, like a 4-week program maintenance,
Okay.
so that they don't feel like oh, I have to pay for like another 8 weeks.
Hmm.
I mean, of course they could do another 8 weeks if they feel like they're at that point. But I also felt that if people, like, let's say they're like, okay, like I'm good, because like I said, for me, you know right now I'm like, I feel like, okay, I'm good, like I can make my choices. I don't need to game plan with somebody. Like I can just game plan on my own, game plan on my in my head, and I got this. But I feel like some people will be like, okay, like after the 8 weeks, like, I'm good. But I feel like, and if they're like, okay, no, I don't want to do your 4-week maintenance plan, what you should do is like text them at week 10. Like they
Okay.
didn't, like a
Like a
courtesy
follow-up.
text.
Yeah,
Yeah, like
I
a
like
follow
that.
up, like, oh, hey, because if you think about it, because when you have your 8-week consult, that's going to go into their 8th week. And then, let's see how they did on their own on their 9th week, and then
Hmm.
hit them up on week 10 and be like, oh, how has your past 2 weeks been?
Right. Yeah.
Just so that, they can really be truthful and honest with themselves and be like, oh, it was great. Like that week by myself, it was fantastic. Like I'm maintaining.
Yeah.
And then maybe hit them up again on week 12
I like it.
to check in.
Yeah.
That way, because then week 12, it's like, okay, now you're a month on your own.
Hmm.
How has it been? Because instead of them like forgetting or reaching out to you, you're like reminding them, like, hey, if you feel like you're struggling, like I'm here for you.
Right. I like that. I like that because at the end of the day, the the goal is to actually help people and to provide them with the support where, after the 8-week program is done, they are in essentially set on their own. Hopefully they've changed their habits and their mindset in order to, continue on with the journey that they've set themselves out on. However, I like what your idea is so far as, still letting them know I exist. I'm thinking about you.
Mm-hmm.
And in any event that you need additional assistance, I'm still here for that, to provide that. So I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, like I said, like I feel like I'm good, but there's people who, you know, extra, I mean, that extra time one, and then also, that extra motivation and push as well.
Yeah. Well, one thing I will be doing is I will be studying. I'm so grateful that you agreed to record these sessions with me because I just find so much value in how you've approached this whole process. Um, just your mentality alone is something that I really want to spend more time considering how we can apply your mentality to others who have similar goals as myself or you. Because yeah,
Yeah.
I mean we both have aspiring aspirations of achieving certain physiques, bodies, whatever you want to call it. But we've kind of been approaching it differently. Like we have different strategies, let's say that. But at the
Hmm.
end of the day, you and I have both achieved a level of discipline where our habits are conducive to the results that we want. And it's
Yeah.
just like recreating that 1,000 times, 10,000 times.
Yeah.
That's really the business. That's the business that I want to get into. So, like I said, thank you for allowing me to record these conversations because when I go back and watch these, I'm going to be asking myself the question: How can we recreate our mentality to help other people who have similar goals?
Yeah.
Well, okay, I like it. Oh, that was a weird noise. Well, you're breaking up a little bit. You're breaking up a lot of
God,
bit.
because I was thinking about it and I had written notes at home. So no, no, I wanted to open up this week. Hello?
Yeah, I think we're back now.
Okay, yeah,
Okay,
oh yeah, I think it was my reception.
okay.
But I had wanted to open up this week as when you ask me like, oh, how's it going? I'm like, how's it going? 15 pounds down in these 8 weeks, even though I went through 3 holidays, two major work events, like week-long work events, and dang, there was one more thing. I
I
forgot.
mean, that's pretty good.
But because I was thinking about it and I've literally lost, I mean, I haven't hopped on the scale now, um, but I've literally lost at least 15 pounds, between 15 and 17 pounds. And to think about it, I started that week of Thanksgiving. So going through Thanksgiving, going through Christmas, going through New Year's,
Hmm.
plus I had 2 week-long work events.
Yeah.
It was like, dude, like I could be your infomercial. I could know your testimonial.
You already are.
Um, no, but like like I was really, really, really proud of myself. Like it was like, dang, like it's crazy how, being able to talk to you and being able to, game plan and just come up with strategies and solutions and just,
Hmm.
you know, keep me on my toes and stuff like that. I really appreciate it. And I'm so glad that, that you started this. And I'm so glad that, Vito talked to me about it and, you had brought it up. And I was just like, dang, like, like it really, 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 really worked out.
Good.
Like, who else could lose weight during the holidays?
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Well,
Oh yeah, a staycation. That's what I was gonna say, a staycation. Because when I went to Palm Springs with
yes.
Landon and my brother.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah,
Well, what I was gonna say is that, and I said this, I think last session, is that like you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink. So, yeah, I'm here to provide assistance, but you were the one who you were willing to commit to the process and make the changes in your mind and in your daily habits to achieve the type of results that you've experienced. So, all the credit really goes to you, and that's something to be really proud of. And I would say that the best part of the entire journey is that, in my opinion, you have truly incorporated this, what would you call it? These behaviors into your lifestyle. The way that you think
yeah,
about food, the way that you move through the world in relation to your goals, it is part of your lifestyle, and you're not struggling to maintain it, you know? So I mean
yeah.
that's the best success in my opinion.
Aw,
Yeah.
I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Um, Man, I'm so excited for you, and I'm so excited for your consulting, and I'm excited for, you to get more clients and, see how their progress is and,
Yeah.
just see this bloom and blossom for you.
Yeah, I'm quite excited as well. I just got a new client today. He just signed up. It was a referral, so I haven't met him. But I signed him up today, and we're going to start week one next week. And I haven't even started pushing out the ads on social media yet, so that's definitely going to create a higher flow of potential clients. So yeah, it's going to be a fun year. I'm going to learn a lot. And my whole thing is just like I want to provide as much value for the service as possible. That way, it's about volume and it's about, value, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So there's things to learn, and you've been a great help for me to kind of batten down exactly what it is that I'm offering. Um, just to relay it back to you as this being our really our final session together before you embark on the 3 month journey uh, for your wedding. Any final thoughts? Any contemplations as you continue to proceed through this?
Actually, no. Like, especially like these past 3 weeks where it's like I've just shown myself like, going through, you know, different events or trips or hangouts or whatnot. Like I definitely feel mentally ready to just keep sustaining and keeping it. Um, I guess because I mean now I really, really have a goal of fitting in the dress because I know, we talked about, oh, like, like what are your goals? And I'm like, oh, feeling happy,
Hmm.
looking good. But now it's like, okay, well, I can't just be like, okay, like I lost an inch here or, I lost half an inch there.
Right.
It's like, okay, I need to fit into this dress. So it's like, okay, I feel like I still have that motivation for these next 3 months, or like,
Hmm.
there's something where it's like, okay, I really need to work towards this. I guess my thing is, okay, after the 3 months, because remember in the beginning, I said that that's one of my issues is maintaining it. Because it's
Yeah.
like, okay, I've lost 10 pounds. All right, like, now I can indulge a little bit. Like, I can do this, I can do that. Because it's like every other time when I was losing weight, it was losing weight for myself. It wasn't towards something, And it's
Mm-hmm.
like these 3 months are towards the dress fitting, but
Mm-hmm.
then what?
Right.
It's like,
Yeah.
am I going to be able to maintain it? Am I going to be able to sustain it? Am I going to be able to, am I going to gain all of it back in, 6 months?
So, I would say that there's a simple solution here, and we're just going to go back to the basics the first couple of weeks, there's a lot of premeditation and preparation for, let's say, upcoming events. So in this situation, it's just a matter of visualization. What
Yeah,
would how would you like your habits to look? How would you like your behaviors to look after the wedding? And that's like you have 3 months to answer that question. You get what I'm saying?
yeah,
Because like the thing that you need to focus or acknowledge right now is that like you are in control. You are in complete control of what you put in your body, the consistency of going to the gym and working out. You're just dialed in. So the thing to ask yourself is once you've hit this what is it, landmark goal of fitting into your wedding dress, which is 3 months away, you get to ask yourself right now, and you get to spend time, you get to spend the next month, 2 month, 3 months deciding how would you like, now that you are in control of your body and you are in control of what you put into your body and et cetera, you get to ask yourself, how do you want that to look after the wedding is over? You know?
that's true. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that's true.
Because I mean, don't get me wrong, you could let go and lose all the habits that you've built up over these past 8 weeks, and you could gain 15 pounds back, you can gain 20, 25 pounds back, and then you would have to start all over again. Literally all
That's
over again.
true. Oh
Yeah,
my gosh.
yeah, all of the mindset stuff, all the habits, all the behaviors, you would unlearn them and then have to relearn them if you had the same fitness goal, let's say next year. In
Yeah.
my opinion, it doesn't seem worth it. As
No,
opposed
now that
to,
you put it that way.
yeah, yeah, because like right now you've got it. It's like it's at your fingertips. Like you don't have to remember anything. You don't have to relearn anything. You are already in charge. So, I mean, if I were to give you any kind of advice, it's like continue being in charge and determine what that looks like. Sure, it might look different than like your eating habits and your working out habits today, but as long as you're conscious, as long as you're making conscious decisions, then it can still be disciplined. It can still be maintained.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, because
Mm-hmm.
as you were talking about it, that's exactly what I was thinking. Why would I want to go through all of this
Yeah.
or like put all of this hard work, let
Yep.
it go to waste?
Yeah. And
Because
I'm
it's like,
speaking. Mhm.
no, yeah, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I was just saying I'm speaking from experience. Like I'm 186 right now. In a couple of weeks, I'll be like 175. It'll be the third time I've been 175 in 2 years. Every time I get to
Oh, wow.
175, I have it for like a day. I'm 175 for like a
Uh-huh.
day. I do a photo shoot or I do a movie, and then like the next day, I'm 10 pounds heavier. That's a true story. So, and don't get me wrong, it's taken me 2 years to understand why would I want to do that again?
Yeah.
You know?
No, yeah.
Yeah.
No, and I get where you're coming from because that's how I felt back from when Vito and I lost all that weight in 2017
Mm-hmm.
because I'm still like 10 to 13 pounds because I don't remember exactly my weight back in 2017 when we had lost all that weight. I'm
Mm-hmm.
still like 10 to 13 pounds heavier than, my what I think I remember my smallest was back in 2017. And granted, I did start off about 10 pounds heavier than when I started in 2017. But I'm all thinking, like, imagine if I would have just started from where I was in 2017 and then
Yeah.
lost, this 15 pounds.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, well, I would have practically been to like my goal weight or my
Yep.
goal size.
Yep. And just to further elaborate on the change that you're going to feel a change like in your brain once you actually hit that goal 3 months from now. Because the thing is that when you are preparing mentally for something, and it's like, let's say your brain attaches to, or it latches on to a time frame, a deadline that you give it. And we are incentivized to meet that deadline. So we're like spending, mental energy in preparation for this thing out in the future that we have set on a calendar. So once you get to that set date, you are going to feel a release. There is going to be something in you that is like, okay, now I get to do such and such. I no longer have to prepare for the thing. I've been preparing all these months for this. It's here now. Now what? Right? And that's why I'm saying
Yeah.
the true strategy is to just mentally prepare for that already. And then you already have an idea as to what you're going to do afterwards. Now, if I were you, I would keep in mind windows, windows of indulgences. So it's like the wedding comes. I don't know if you have like a honeymoon planned or anything like that. But let's say hypothetically you had a honeymoon where you went away for a week to fucking Miami. I don't care. So you're going to Miami for a week after the wedding. In my mind, it's like, okay, what are the type of indulgences I will partake in during that week in Miami? Is it going to be like from sun up to sundown? I'm just eating whatever the fuck I want. Probably not a good idea. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? You get what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
But am I going to
Yeah.
indulge from 5 o'clock p.m. to 9 o'clock p.m.? Maybe every other day. Like these are the type of things that you get to start asking yourself, and you gotta stick to them when you make up your mind, because then you're still staying disciplined. You're still staying in the realm of I'm in control. You're not letting go. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, yeah, that definitely makes sense. And once
Mhm.
again, you're calming down my nerves
Yeah.
of me thinking
It's
and anticipating.
Yeah, it's just pre-planning and it's just looking ahead. I know because well, I've done it. I've been through it. Like I've had the deadline and I've hit the deadline and then it's just like, okay, well, all bets are off now. I've done the thing I
Yeah.
said I was going to do, you know?
Yeah.
So I totally get it. Totally get it. But
Yeah.
cool. Well, these videos will be uploaded by the time your wedding comes. So if you ever need to be reminded, you'll be able to click this video and just go like, oh yeah, premeditation, preparing for the time when this wedding is over. And just keep in mind, like you still have goals. Even beyond this wedding dress, you still have goals that exist outside of it. So
That's true. That's true. Thank you. Thank you for the reminders.
absolutely. Well, I'm looking forward to seeing you in the dress. And yeah, I think I think this was really valuable, time well spent. And then, like I said, I thank you so much for being a part of it.
Of course. Of course. Thank you. I
Yeah.
appreciate you.
Okay. Well, with that being said, I'm gonna cut on week 8. We should have like a check-in 3 months down the line after the wedding. That'd be fun.
Oh,
Yeah,
that
we
would
should
be
do that. We'll do that.
yeah, I'm totally down.
All right, cool. Well, I guess for everyone who's watching, whenever this is uploaded, we'll see you in 3 months.
Yep. See you in 3 months.
Oh yeah. All right, I'm cutting.